Good afternoon. First, I'd like to inform everyone that this webinar is being recorded. We'll definitely have time after my initial presentation for questions, and I'll pause the recording at that time so everyone can feel free to ask their questions openly without worrying about them being captured in the recording. Carly Gonzalez, I've had the privilege of working at Green Umbrella for the past 5 years. In that time, I've worn many hats, including being the liaison with all our members. I'm excited to share more about our new membership model, an expanded suite of member benefits with you today, and that we also have expanded our member relations team so that there's a point person for each sector. I will continue to be the main point of contact for businesses. We have got a great group of businesses signed up today, including let me let some more folks in. Including some folks who have been longstanding members and some new businesses that we're excited to welcome into our network. In a little bit, we're going to give you a chance to weigh in on what some of your priorities are so that we'll speak to them in the latter half of the session. I'm going to kick it off with just a little bit of background into why we've made some updates to our membership and what those updates mean for our organization, your business, and the region. So Green Umbrella is now the regional climate collaborative for Greater Cincinnati. As many of you know, we have been serving as the backbone for environmental and sustainability work in the Greater Cincinnati region for 25 years. And we serve a 10-county region that crosses 3 states. Over the years, we have connected hundreds of member organizations. Let me just be sure. Okay, cool, that's showing. Over the years, we've connected hundreds of member organizations, local government, nonprofit organizations, educational institutions, and businesses, as well as passionate individuals through a collective impact approach to tackling the most complex and pressing environmental challenges that our communities face. When we look at the type of work that we lead and participate in, we look at it as collaborative work that is helping to reduce emissions, create and protect thriving green space, build a resilient and equitable local food system, and support local communities to take action on their environmental and resilience priorities. The connected and interdependent network of partnerships that we help steward are part of what makes Greater Cincinnati such a uniquely collaborative region when it comes to environmental action. We've seen this make a huge difference in attracting funding and talent to our region and really raising the profile of Greater Cincinnati across the country as a leader in sustainability and climate action work. We officially launched the Regional Climate Collaborative last year in 2022 as one program under our umbrella. But we quickly realized that this framework had so much more potential and really speaks to who we are as an organization. And we decided to grow that collaborative model from an element of our programming to an organization-wide framework. We think this shift is so critical because we're just 6 years away from a major milestone on the path to slashing greenhouse gas emissions. And our region has a big part to play in that. We're growing in population. We have a lot of work to do to both decrease emissions and prepare for the impacts of climate change so that we can protect the environmental health, public health, and the quality of life for everyone in the region. Today, approximately 325,000 residents live in a community that has a dedicated roadmap for climate action. And that's a great start, but it's 2 million people short of where we could be if everyone had a roadmap for climate action across our 10-county region. Green Umbrella is expanding our program and the support that we provide to our members so that we can ensure that all of these residents across our region can live in a community that is ready to take decisive action in the face of climate change. We know that as the climate changes, our region will become more vulnerable to high heat alerts, flooding, landslides, and air quality alerts. But in addition to these risks, Climate change is also a threat multiplier, which means that it multiplies existing threats to public health, the economy, and it puts our most vulnerable populations at even greater risk. And as the National Climate Assessment that was released this week articulates in detail, this has enormous implications for both public health and the economy. It costs the US at least $150 billion each year, and it disproportionately affects underserved and overburdened communities. But we see climate collaboratives as doing the opposite. They're opportunity multipliers. They offer communities the opportunity to share knowledge, resources, and best practices. They enable collaboration on projects that impact the entire region, and they help improve our ability to secure funding. This type of region-wide effect helps reduce costs and improve outcomes so that our region is better positioned to weather the impacts of climate change and to build more resilient, equitable, and thriving communities. With the change in Green Umbrella's identity from a regional sustainability alliance to a regional climate collaborative, Green Umbrella now joins more than 30 other collaboratives across the country, all of them working on cross-jurisdictional climate action. Given our staff and existing programs and our partnerships that have been established over the past 25 years, Green Umbrella is now actually the largest regional climate collaborative in the country. One of the things we're most excited about is weaving our existing programming and resources into the regional climate collaborative model. Many of your organizations are already actively engaged in one of our collaborative teams or programs. These programs are all continuing, but with a more explicit focus on the connection between their work and climate issues, including efforts to continue to connect into regional and local planning efforts that craft policies and programs to address critical issues around food, resilience, buildings and energy, transportation, green space, and equitable access to environmental quality and economic opportunity. This will help elevate their work to be even more integrated and have an even bigger impact. This new framework will prepare us to support Greater Cincinnati through a massive transition and a dramatic drawdown of emissions and investment in equity-focused resilience to the impacts of climate change. As those of you who have been working with us know, this is not something that we're going to do alone. We're fundamentally an organization that's based on collaboration, and this is true now more than ever. We need your help and partnership to get there. We're now seeing an immense opportunity thanks to hundreds of billions of dollars in federal investments to address climate issues. This is just a snapshot of two pieces of recent federal funding legislation that totals $244 billion. But there are way more opportunities available as well, not only from the federal government, but also from the private sector and from philanthropic foundations who are pouring money into addressing this enormously challenging issue. Climate action intersects with so many issues that our communities and member network care about: food, green space, housing, air quality, transportation and mobility, and so much more. And it's going to take a huge amount of effort to make sure that this work is done in a collaborative and equitable way that really has an impact in improving the health and well-being of our communities, and that creates lots of economic opportunities. We know that a healthier and more climate resilient region with clear sustainability and climate action plans that help create a more resilient local food system, thriving green spaces, a more circular and interconnected economy is better positioned to attract and retain businesses and talent. There are an abundance of green jobs to fill in the economy and to create, and more work to do to build strong green workforce development pathways. A specific example of how we're channeling resources and collaboration into action is that our region has just received a $1 million grant to develop a region-wide climate action plan through the US EPA Climate Pollution Reduction Program. The regional plan will help leverage resources across our communities, tackle more complex problems, and get more funding. This is the first step in accessing $4.6 billion of funding for implementing climate action projects across the country, the EPA recently announced. This regional planning project called Thrive Together will be a sustainability playbook for Greater Cincinnati, and it's being co-led by this coalition of organizations. All communities, stakeholders, and residents in Greater Cincinnati's 16-county metropolitan statistical area are invited to engage, inform, and shape this playbook and come together to make sure that our region gets a big piece of that $4.6 billion pie in a way that benefits our most vulnerable communities. This is just one example of how we'll be engaging our members and their constituents in informing transformational regional and local projects. Now, I want to take a moment to learn a little bit more about what issues your businesses are focused on, what your efforts have been to date on climate and other environmental work, and what would help you achieve your goals. So we've got a few questions for you. So take a moment to answer this question and select all the issues that are of greatest concern to your customers that you work with. Okay, what we see is that we have 75% of you say that energy efficiency and renewables are of great concern to your customers. But we do see also a lot of these other issues. Every issue is of at least some concern, notably housing and utility costs and solid waste and recycling. And I do see that many of you recognize that your customers want to see that the businesses they support are working to be more sustainable and have a positive impact. So this is helpful when we're identifying which areas of our programming are going to be most impactful for your organization to into. Another question here. I've got 4 questions total. So here's the second question. Okay, so it looks like you guys are doing good work, right? So which is to be expected, I think, because you're here today. But this is an area of focus that you have put a lot of thought into, that you've either developed a project or a program or a policy that addresses at least one of these issues. And that most of you are, almost all of you, this is an issue that you integrate into your consideration through your decision-making processes across your organization. So that's awesome. Okay, third question. Okay, so kind of scattered across the board here, that these are all challenges that that folks are experiencing in implementing more climate efforts. We certainly see a lot of folks are looking, don't have enough funding for existing programs, and that you're continuing to learn more about these issues and what you can do. A quarter of you are, have more pressing issues. I know there's a lot of pressing issues to keep a business afloat and thriving. Some of you are, about almost half of you could use more staff, and a quarter of you could use more technical assistance on where to get started. So that's helpful. And the last question. So this is great because the thing that you guys said would help you the most is one of our strongest, benefits of what our organization provides is networking opportunities, so that we can, in which we want to be enhancing the impact that our networking opportunities have for you, so that you can continue to build connections with potential partners and clients across the region. I also see the second highest one is the more marketing reach, and so that we can increase your brand recognition and help tell your story. And that I'm excited that we're going to be developing more opportunities to do that for you, to use the power of our communications channels to help tell your story. We want to be hearing like all the successes that you guys are doing, and so that we can tell that story of our collective region and all the cool things that are happening. Workplace wellness programs, that's great. having a healthy workplace is crucial to keeping and retaining talent and making sure everybody isn't, out sick and feels really like vibrant when they're in the office. Um, More team engagement opportunities to give back to the community. That's awesome. We're certainly going to have more of those as well. Okay, close this poll. All right, so now let's dive a little more into how, as a Green Umbrella member, we might be able to help you with some of these priorities that we were just talking about. The Green Umbrella has been a membership-based organization for the last 13 years, but our new framework is designed to open up even more opportunities for members to work with all our programs, build stronger relationships across our network, increase your impact, and contribute to the region's goals. Our membership continues to be open to all types of organizations, local governments, educational institutions, nonprofit organizations, and businesses that are interested in furthering climate action in the region. And membership gives your business access to resources that help you make progress toward your sustainability goals, generate new business, develop leads, and collaborate with like-minded individuals and organizations. We've redesigned our membership to be more inclusive, more comprehensive, and more impactful. So members now have 3 different levels that you can choose from: participating, supporting, and leading. And these are tailored to meet the budget needs and to respond to the level of involvement that you want to have in our work. The participating level is designed to have a really low barrier to entry. It starts at just $100 for small businesses. Businesses that join at this level are listed in our member directory, and they have access to engage and participate in our work. So it sort of it gives you the opportunity to participate and to dip your toe in the work that we're doing and the resources that are available. Supporting and leading level members gain access to many more additional resources and benefits, which I'll go into a little bit further. Now, we acknowledge that there is an increase in membership dues from our previous membership model. And this is the first time that we've raised our dues in the past 13 years. And we did work extensively to benchmark our pricing against other regional climate collaboratives and comparable professional membership organizations. We're confident that the change also reflects the additional support and value that member benefits get in achieving their goals and accessing critical resources, especially now that our organization has grown so much in the past decade. We've divided our member benefits into 3 categories. First is training and network. So businesses offer an important perspective and are vital partners on our collaborative team. We'd love for your employees to participate in our unique programs and help to guide the strategic vision for our region. We'll also continue to expand the workshops and the trainings that we offer and our networking opportunities, both through our new online member portal and through in-person events that happen throughout the year. Resources, trainings, events, and networking opportunities are available to members through our existing programs. I meant to show this slide before, so I'll pause on this slide so you have a chance to see some of the things listed here. So all of these sorts of resources and trainings and events and networking opportunities are available to our members in addition to all of our existing programs. We now also have these regional climate collaborative working groups. And these working groups are designed to bring together specific audiences to build skills, make connections, apply for funding, and deploy best practices in community listening and local leadership. Within our new member portal, if you haven't been to our new website, we're really excited about it. And it includes an opportunity where members can log in and connect with other organizations across our network. You can also access details about member-only events, trainings, toolkits, and other resources. Second, so that was the first one, training and networking. Second, members have expanded marketing opportunities. So I know these are the two biggest things you guys said could be helpful: networking and marketing, right? So we want to highlight your successes. We want to help you tell your story in our communications, and we want to create more opportunities for you to share your knowledge and services, to develop leads, and to generate more business. Members can now post their events directly to our public calendar and recruit job candidates through our popular Green Jobs Board with a new online submission process. So it streamlines the whole process, and you can log into the member portal, submit your jobs and events, and then they get approved and they get incorporated into our communications. And our new member directory actually also enables you to see the jobs and the events that are posted by each member on their profile page. Cool. The third, members get access to resources and technical support. These are resources that are designed to help you reach your goals and make an even more impact. So these include sustainability tools and models, statewide policy and legislation updates, and ongoing tracking of funding and technical assistance opportunities. And as I mentioned before, supporting and leading level membership comes with the ability to access all our program-specific benefits at no additional cost. So, for example, and there's many examples, but for example, this means that now your organization can join the 2030 district and track your building's emissions reductions. You can tap into workplace wellness and values-based food purchasing consultations. So much more. I'm gonna wrap things up by encouraging you to learn more by downloading our new member benefits package and pricing chart, which is linked on our website. And please reach out to me with any questions or ideas that you have. I'm available to be your personal concierge to help you tap into our member benefits and our programs and the power of our extensive network. Lastly, I want to share about 2 upcoming webinars. One of them is tonight at 6 o'clock. And this is a webinar that's co-hosted by our Food Policy Council on federal funding opportunities for climate and food systems resilience. And you can learn more about either of these and register on the events page of our website. And the other one is coming up on December 6th. And this is a webinar on the public health impacts from climate change, specifically in Greater Cincinnati. So lastly, addressing climate change can really feel overwhelming at times. And we know that it requires hard work. But if we do this right, we can not only address social inequalities and secure exciting economic opportunities, together we can create a more resilient, equitable, and thriving Greater Cincinnati for our generation and for future generations. And we hope that your business is with us on this journey and either recommits or joins as a Green Umbrella member. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Reach out, like I said, if you have any questions.